1. All right, and we are live. Today's lesson is our final lesson with our decimal division, and it's dividing a decimal by a decimal. Our essential question of the day is, how can you divide a decimal by a decimal? Pretty simple, right? And I think we already know what the rules are going to be for this one, right? What do you need to focus on? Your divisor. You're going to have a decimal divisor. You're going to have to change both your dividend and your divisor so that your divisor is a whole number. Let's take a look at a word problem for today. Oh, what happened? Oh, here we go. All right, thank you to Maisie for sending in some fabulous pictures. I was trying to figure out how to use this in a problem because she sent me a picture of her riding on a squirrel. So thank you, Maisie, for sending in these great photos and allowing me to edit and have fun with them. So Maisie believes that the soul of her long-lost twin is trapped in the body of the squirrel who visits her bedroom window every morning. Are you liking this, Maisie? I had fun. Maisie decides to buy French fries for her sister, the squirrel. She has $12.40 in allowance money, and the fries cost 40 cents a cup. How many cups of fries can Maisie buy? Are you guys loving this problem?
That's great.
Thank you to Maisie. Again, if she hadn't sent me a picture of her riding on a squirrel, I would not have been able to make this beautiful problem. I'm always encouraging you guys, send me your pictures, and it might, we can have more fun with the problem. So let's dissect this problem, shall we?
Wait, how could
So
she
Maisie is buying French fries for her sister, the squirrel. The French fries cost $12.40, and I will share my board in just a minute for those at home. I'm just writing down my information. So $12.40, and the fries cost 40 cents a cup. So 40 cents per cup. I want to know how many cups she can get. What operation will I need to use? Matthias? You're going to have to divide. How do you know that you're using division? Zoe? How would you know you need to divide? Any zoomies, maybe? It doesn't say to divide, does it? How many could be a bunch of different operations, though, right? How do we know we need to divide? What information is given in the problem that tells us we're using division? Yes, Sebastian? Well, how many could be any operation? How do you know we need to divide? And don't say it's a division lesson. You said it at the beginning of the lesson. No. Sinjin? That would be multiplication. So Matthias wants to give it one more shot. Go ahead. No. Well, here's the thing. We are given the total to begin with. We're not trying to find the total. We know that she has a total of $12.40. So we're not going to multiply and we're not going to add because that's what we use to find the total. That leaves subtraction and division as our only two operations, yes? Because we're not finding a total. We're starting with the total amount of money. How do we know it's division? Aside from the fact that we're provided the total, we all know that the fries are costing 40 cents each, right? So we're going to have to divide by that amount. Yes? Beautiful. All right. Let's write our equation. All right. Okie dokie. Can you all see let me move back a little bit. So here's the information I have. I have my $12.40, and I'm dividing by my 40 cents. Yes? Can everybody see my board?
Yes, like a box.
Okay, so remember what I said about not having a divisor that is a decimal. When we have a divisor that's a decimal, we're going to have to change it. So when we have this, we're going to need to treat the division problem like a fraction. Multiply the dividend and the divisor by a multiple of 10 that will change the divisor to a whole number. So we have our $12.40 and our 40 cents. Notice that I have taken, for the purpose of this equation, I have taken the extra zero off. Did I change the value by taking that zero off? Is it? No, 4 cents would be a decimal zero for. It still would be 40. So I am allowed to take that zero off of the end of the 40 cents and the $12.40 because it does not change the value. You're welcome to keep it on there if you want because we're still going to follow the same exact steps. So step number 1, we're going to pretend, we're going to look at the relationship between our dividend and a divisor, just like we would in a fraction. Then we're going to see how can we change that divisor into a whole number. How are we going to change it? What do we need to do? Matthias again. Multiply by 10. Oh. And that's how we get 4. When we multiply by 10, we move our decimal point one place to the right. Whatever we do to our divisor, we must do to our dividend. Multiply by 10, that decimal point moves one place. I keep doing that, sorry. One place to the right. And again, it becomes 124, leaving our new problem, 124 divided by 4. Now we have numbers that we can work with and solve. So let's set up our equation. So we have taken that $12.40. We have moved our decimal point in both our dividend and our divisor one place to the right to make it a whole number. So we have now 4 and we have 124. 124 divided by 4. Now we can divide. Set up my table. My dividend goes inside the house. Divisor goes outside the house, and we are ready to solve. Yes. You can. You can. All right, let's follow our steps. Does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers raw? Does divide. Can 4 go into 1? No. Can 4 go into 12? How many times?
3.
Multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract.
0. Drop the
Is 0 less than 4? Yes, we checked. Bring down. We're going to bring down that 4.
4 goes into
And we're going to have a brand new problem. This one, I know we have some simple numbers here. A lot of mental math can be done. Divide. 4 divided by 4 is?
1.
5. 4 times 1. Subtract. Check. 0 is less than 4. Nothing to bring down. No remainders. So our final answer is 31. So what was the question? We need a unit. 31 what? Excuse me. 31 what? Zoomies, you're awfully quiet. 31 what?
31 doll hairs.
No, it wasn't money.
10. Oh, wait.
31
French fries. Cups of
31
fries.
cups of fries. 31 cups of fries.
Hey, everyone, I
31
just told you
okay.
it's 31 cups of wait, what?
31 French fries.
Yes.
French fries, yeah.
Okay. Let's try another equation, shall we? 125. I'm sorry, 1 and 2500 divided by 2500. All right, the very first thing when we get an equation like this, the very first thing is that we do not want a divisor that's a decimal. What do we need to do, Luigi?
Since we're gonna have to times it by
Beautiful. So the divisor needs to be multiplied by 100, which moves our decimal point 2 places to the right. That's times 100. So our new number becomes 25. But whatever we do to our divisor, we do to our dividend. Times 100 as well. Move our decimal point 1, 2 places to the right. 125 divided by 25. If you know your 25 times table, which I told you you should know,
Just do it in your
you don't
head.
need to do any work for this equation because 25 goes into 125 perfectly.
Next time.
Excuse me. Excuse me. One of my zoomies, how many times does 25 go into 125? Maybe?
105 times.
5 times, right? And you guys can figure
Five
this
is
out because
over.
25 times 4 is 100. Add an extra 25, that's 25 times 5. So before even needing to write anything out, my answer is 5. That's why you need to know those times tables. They come in handy. Let's try a more difficult one, shall we? All right. So we're going to have 17 and 800 divided by 3 and 1/10. Fifth graders, I know that we're going to change this answer, right? We're going to change this divisor because we cannot have a decimal. However, one thing I want you to look at, I want you in your head to make an estimate here. Look at the numbers and see if you can tweak the dividend and the divisor in your head to give me an estimate of what this answer might be close to. Sebastian.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
18 and 3. Good. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So I'm going to just keep that in my head, my estimate, because later on I'm going to check for reasonableness. We're going to see if our answer is logical, right? So our answer should be around 6. Yes? Let's see. Now, here's where we're going to have to tweak it. We cannot work with a 3 and 1/10. We're going to have to change it. Zoe? Times 10. Whatever I do to my divisor, we get 31 here. We do to our dividend. Times 10, we get 178 times 31. Now, fifth graders, now you can kind of see why this will be helpful. Do you see this? Because now I'm working with 31, which is not a times table that I know by heart. So by having an estimate, I have an idea of what my starting number in my quotient might be. Yes? So I don't have to start going through and trying to figure it out on my own. I have an estimate with my original numbers. Now I know that it might be a 6. Let's see. Let me set up my equation. I'm going to put the 178 inside the house and the 31 outside the house. And I'm going to just erase this for now so I can have a little more space. Now, let's start with our first step. Divide. Can 31 go into 1? No. Can 31 go into 17? No. So it's going to have to go into 178. Why not try our estimate? 31 is our original number. We think it could go in possibly 6 times. Let's try it. Times 6, we get 186. That's too big. So what does it have to be?
It has to be 5, which equals to 155.
It's going to have to be 5. 31 times 5 equals 155. That's as close as we're going to get. Not perfect. It doesn't go in perfectly, which means we're going to have some extra steps coming. Let's multiply. We just did. 31 times 5 is 155. Subtract. Subtract, we get 23. Check 20. It's big, but 23 is less than 31, so we're in the clear. Bring down. What do we have to do? One of my zoomies. I ran out of numbers. I'm not allowed to have a remainder. Dominic, what do I need to do?
Put decimal.
Put a decimal point in and whenever I put a decimal point in my dividend, it has to go up into my quotient. Now what do? Zoe? Annex a 0. And now we have a 0 to bring down. Bring down. We get 230. And we're back at the top. Repeat.
It equals, if that's
All right,
the-
31 into 230. We're still
That's
looking
six.
at, if you look at just the beginning number, we're still looking at the 3 times table and we're looking at the 23. What's the closest we can get in the 3 times table to 23? 21. So what would that multiply by? 7. Let's try it. 31 times 7. We get 217. Are we going to get any closer than that? No, because times 8 would be 24. And we need 23. So let's put 7 up here. Multiply. 31 times 7, we just did it. 217. Subtract. Come on, mental math skills. So what do we, Kai? What was that? 13. Kai, you just sounded like Pepper. He does that all day. Yeah. All right. Check, is 13 less than 31? Yeah. Bring down. We still have to bring more down because we cannot have a remainder. So what do we need to do? Willow, I want to bring a number down, but I have no numbers. What do I need to do? I need to bring another number down. Yes, Annex, another 0. God. I know, right? Another 0. And now we're ready to, we brought a number down, we're ready to repeat. I get to use my favorite color now. Green. Oh my gosh. Okay, 130 divided by 31. 130 divided by,
It would go into 4 times. 4 times. 4 times.
what do we get?
4 times. 4. You just 4.
4 times?
Yeah, 4. Try 4.
All right, 31 times 4, let's multiply. 124 actually. Uh-oh, what are we seeing? What do we see? All right, we're probably gonna keep going, aren't we? Because, right, look, we have a 1 here and a 0 here. So let's at least get it so that we can round to the nearest 100. All right, we get 124. Subtract. Check.
6.
We get 6. Bring down. We would get a 0. Annex another 0. 60. And it's going to have to go in how many times?
1.
Once, because times 2 would be 62. So guess what? We have enough answers here to round our number. What should we round it to? 5 and 74 hundredths. All right. That was a long one, huh? All right. Let's try another one.
I like that problem.
All right, number
It
14,
uses-
we have 182 and 88 hundredths divided by 8 what? 8 what?
800.
Oh, the fact that there's hesitation. Remember, I said there should be no hesitation when you're reading a decimal. You should know the place right away. 800. Oh, that scared me there. All right, 182 and 88 hundredths divided by 8 hundredths. All right, very first thing our eyeballs go to. Yes, Zoe?
Two. 2. 6.
Good question. Why don't we tweak the question so you can see? Let's say this one, you're saying if this was, so Zoe said, what if they're not the same amount of places? What if the dividend has 2 places and the divisor has only 1? You still only go by what the divisor is. Your eyes go immediately to the divisor first, and whatever you do to the divisor, you have to do to the dividend. So if this was 8/10 instead, I'm going to need to move my divisor, my decimal point, one place times 10, which makes it a whole number 8. Guess what? I still, even if it makes it a decimal, I still need to move my decimal point one place to the right here. So it's going to be 1,828 and 8/10 divided by 8. Now I know that that looks weird, but guess what? The rule only states that your divisor has to be a whole number. Your dividend can still be a decimal because you can bring that decimal point up into your quotient. So let's solve it like this, shall we? 1,828 divided by 8. Sorry, and 8/10. It's a big number, but it's doable. All right, can everybody see what I did here? All right. The very first thing we do now that we have well, the very first thing was to make our divisor a whole number. Yes, I'm aware. We changed the problem. I know I'm going to show you how to solve it like this, okay? The very first thing is to make sure your divisor is a whole number. The very second thing is once you set up your equation, bring up your decimal point. Once you bring up your decimal point, then you can treat this problem as a good old-fashioned long division problem. All right, let's start with our steps. Divide. Can 8 go into 1? Can 8 go into 18? How many times? 2 times. This is a pretty easy number to work with, right? You should know your 8 times table, so we should fly through these. 2, so multiply. 8 times 2 is?
16.
Subtract. 18 minus 16?
22.
2.
Wait, 22? Wait, what?
2 is less than 8. We're good. Bring down. We're going to bring down
I've gone too far. Wait,
another 2. And we have a new problem.
22,
Repeat.
yeah.
22.
So it goes in twice.
8 go into 22.
2 times.
2 times.
2.
And that's 16. It's so close. It's had 2 more and it would go in easily. That's what I don't like about it.
Again, 16 again. Subtract. I
6.
need another color here. Hold on.
Blue. No. Purple. Green.
See? What do we get here? 26.
6. 6.
6. We subtracted. Check is 6.
68.
Yes. Bring down. Bring down another 8.
68. So,
Repeat. 68
yeah,
divided
68.
by 8. How many times can 8 go
Yeah.
into
You would go into
8
it 8
times.
times and you would
8
get
times.
64. And then
64. The reason I remember that is because 64 is a stack in Minecraft or
Dividing
something.
both
That's
sides.
how I remember
Guys,
that one.
multiply 8 times 8. 64. Subtract. 68 minus 64. All right, another color.
48. 48.
4. Yeah, we're getting there. I see it. There's an end in sight. Check. 4 is less than 8. Bring down.
We were making stairs.
We're bringing down that 8, and you guys see there's an end, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
And
there's
back at the beginning, we have a new problem. 48 divided by 8. It goes in perfectly. What's our answer, guys? 6. We need to finish recording.
I can't see what the bottom thing is.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay,
48. My apologies. 48.
Yes.
And then 8 goes into 48 perfectly. It goes
And then
6
then we
times.
guys-
I don't even need to write any further because we know that there is no remainder. It goes in
Easy
perfectly.
claps. Get the
So our answer is 228 and 6/10. What? We did it. It was a long
Easy.
problem, but it had an end.
Please
Yay!
release us early. Please release us early.